And hello, hello, hello. Welcome to everybody who's in stream. I see we have a fair amount of players in queue already. I'm Tios. I'm joined by the wonderful GeeRam, who's going to be our master for today.
Hey, Tios. Good to see you.
Hello. Yep, and then I see, actually, we have enough players in queue. I'm just going to skip the introductions and everything, and we're just going to dive right in. So, first player is Chosen by Heaven. I believe I have you on my friends list. I do. Alrighty. So, while they get ready, I'm just going to explain the rules here for those who haven't played in a Master Challenge before. First rule is it is a 1v1. Anything legal in game is legal in the challenge. You put your name in the raffle. You're drawn. If you come in, you pick a weight class, and then GeeRam or will then have to play the weight class. If you win, you get a free mech of your choice. Pretty much almost any mech in the game, excluding Phoenix, Sarah's, Founders, and Gold. But, you know, let's say you really want a Timberwolf Prime Eye, and you don't want to drop the $55 for it. Get that. And then if you lose, you get 500 MC. Our first match is requesting for a different map. GeeRam, that's your call. If you want to.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take it's like that. Yeah.
All right.
Like you can just have Steiner as the default because it's probably my favorite, and then.
Yeah. The only map that I'm gonna veto is Ishiyama, just because casting in Ishiyama's bad.
He wants my fastest that I have.
All right, he's locked at heavies, so medium, so just stick with that.
Yeah. Wants a fast mech, I can bring a fast mech.
Alrighty, let's get to it.
Excited to give away some mechs here. Should be fun.
The Vulcan. I'm a little leery about the Vulcan as a 1v1 pick, just because, I don't know, the snubs are good, the HMGs are good, but it's not a lot of, I don't know, just doesn't...
Well, he wanted fast. It's speedy.
Fair. It's fair. Mine firing guns, okay. Sure thing. If GeeRam wants to do it, he can give a light show.
It's a common thing that happens, but honestly, I've only my own guns on the enemies.
What I've noticed is that the first shot is much louder because the first shot doesn't accept your volume settings. So the start of the match, I just fire a single small and like just, you know, fix that. Alrighty. GeeRam coming in. Splat Bushwhacker, but prioritizing Alpha over Artemis. Very interesting. GeeRam trying to kite though, trying to prefer to stay out of that SRM Bushwhacker. Almost at the corner of the map here. Chosen by Heaven getting a little bit stuck in the rocks there, unable to really close. However, GeeRam just going to run in and take the fight. I think GeeRam feels confident enough in his opening damage to just put him down. And GeeRam gets killed. Ooh, XL too.
It was a speedy Bushwhacker.
Yeah. The XL ears always scare me. I don't think I could play that.
Yeah, when you put like missiles on the Bushwhacker, it's just really easy to hit those side horses.
Alright, thank you, Chosen by Heaven. I will put you down for the 500 MC. One moment to get that in, and then I'll draw the next player. Alright, next up, Ghosty. Ooh, 2 players who have left JGX to form Equilibrium, and now they face off head to head. I'm all for that.
How dramatic.
I know, right?
All comes down to this. Can he get his free mech?
Oh yeah. No, I feel like I gotta do a WWE title match here. Okay, while we're waiting for mechs to be decided, GeeRam, if your leg is open, what do? Do you give them the open leg, or do you give them the full leg? in 1v1.
Oh, you give them the leg that's open, and you try your best to put yourself against terrain so they can't easily get around you. Like abuse
Okay.
their agility to get behind you.
Okay. Yep. Yep. See, I've seen people have a lot of different answers, so I do like to ask, top tier players for what they want. Ghosty, instead of asking for a mech. Oh boy.
Well, what weight class is it gonna be, guess?
Ghosty. What weight class is she gonna pick? Ghosty's primarily a light. She's primarily a light pilot, right?
No, trader.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm fine with Steiner.
Heavies. Ooh, okay.
Heavies. Okay.
Let's see. S tier 1v1 heavy picks. Crusader 6T, obviously. Daka Night Gear, I think, is up there. Is up there. Like S tier 1v1 heavy mix. Ghosty's locking in at... She's locking in at 70 tons, though. Makes me wonder what she's got in store.
I'm supposed to lock first, right?
I don't... I've literally only had to... I've literally only had to make the choice once.
Gotcha.
And that was Data against Bows, and like neither one of them wanted to lock first. And to be honest, I don't remember the ruling I made there because I didn't write it down. So
I think like the master should give like the opponents like every advantage, you know.
yeah, that's fair. 70 toner, 70 toner, 70 toner. Before I pick on Ghosty,
He actually changed to 75 after I locked in.
oh,
so.
she did. She did. Okay. Okay. Before I pick on GeeRam, I'm going to assume I'm gonna guess Orion 2C, Ghosty guessing Nightyear. I hate everything.
This is command. Eliminate all enemies,
okay.
no matter the cost.
This is why I shouldn't guess mechs, folks. GeeRam going up for the early hill. You can tell because he has some. I mean, this is just a duel of the Lasbomb mechs here, but you are going to notice very same principle, but very different fundamentals in the two builds that they are both running. GeeRam open CT. GeeRam's going for Ghosty's side instead of the CT. But if you lose that side, you're pretty much crisped. Coming up. Ooh. Ghosty's not where GeeRam predicted, though. Oh, Ghosty's open side. GeeRam going for CT. GeeRam going for the back shot. Ooh!
Nice job, guys.
Ghosty was cooking herself, though.
Yeah.
I think if she survived, if you survived for another 3 seconds, she might have popped herself. Alrighty. Ghosty, you know the drill. I'll put you down for the mech. Feel free to find me at some point. Well, Therax, there have been 2 matches, and GeeRam has lost 1. So I'm pretty sure that means one out of 2. Yes. Alrighty, next up we have Neander. Ooh, another EQ player. Sorry, Ghosty, I didn't mean to kick you, but you know, I got a schedule to keep.
Yep. Gotta keep on track. Let's get as many people as we can, because
Yep, exactly.
who knows how long we can go here.
The 2-hour window, my goal is to get 25 players. If I get more, it's a win. Alright, Neander coming in, locking at 70 tons. I'm going to guess... Well, first off, GeeRam's in a 65 tonner, so before anything, I'm, gonna guess Crusader because, Neander, 70 tons. I'm guessing AC5 Light Pete Black Widow. I should stop trying to guess your mech, GeeRam.
I think you're gonna be quite surprised by some of my picks. Should be fun.
I should stop trying to guess other people's mechs too, it seems. Oh boy.
This is command. Eliminate all enemies, no matter the cost.
I actually really like this build though. Jaeger mechs are always such fun 1v1 mechs, but oh my god, that AC2 cooldown is something else though. Neondair trying to close with her SRMs. Without the Artemis and the super spread mount, she's gonna have to get right into G-Ram's face if she wants a shot. Neondair's open CT. GeeRam's overheating himself just a little bit. Just a smidge. GeeRam's open side, and he's definitely XL. Oh no! He's LFE! What? Oh! Okay, okay.
No XL.
Dude, I saw your open side. I was like, this is it. This is over. But wow, okay. Dude, those AC2s cool down absurdly fast on the S.
Yeah, the velocity is also really good on them, so.
Thank you so much for playing, Neondair. I will put you down for the 500 MC. Yes, there, X. The light engine would have cooked. One thing that Neondair could have done is she could have just played her life, and then see if GeeRam starts to burn himself up. But of course, that's a huge risk. So, no biggies.
It's always hard to guess the heat on mechs that you're not familiar with. It's kind of a weird mech and a weird build, so you might not know how hot I am.
But I was in Neondair's POV, and the inside of your arms and legs started to cook before you got Christ.
That's true. That's true.
It's like I said. It's all these. I almost said little details. Oh boy. I'd be skinned alive if I said that. But next up, I love Annihilators. I wonder which weight class he's going to pick.
Hope he's rated up at 100 tons. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's in his name. I love Annihilators. I wonder what he's in.
Well, if he's in Nanny, then I'll match him. My own accord.
Ghosty, Bombadil hasn't gotten back to me on asking for legendary mechs. So I can put that down as your primary, but send me a backup as well in case Bombadil says no. He hasn't said yes or no to me yet. I asked him like a week ago and I haven't heard back, so you know, just give me a backup.
I'm gonna guess a lot of people are going to
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Mad Cat or Juggernaut, I'm very excited to get them.
Yeah, pretty exciting like idea on like new mechs, I would say. Very unique Fafnir. I'm actually more excited for the Fafnir hitbox change though, if that goes through.
That is actually confirmed to be in this patch now. So we're good for that. I think I'm more excited to play the Juggernaut than I am the Moonwalker. Yes, you can ask for Platinum Mix. GeeRam's pulling out a spicy build. Without a jam chance, too. Ah, the low mounts of the Annihilator strike again. Not really sure what commentary to give there, folks. All out slugfest. GeeRam definitely focusing fire a little bit better on components, but
it's easier with the UAC2s because they have a higher velocity.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like the easier mech to play in this mirror. That's why I like it. I prefer it for Annie versus Annie.
All right, thank you so much. I love Annihilators. I will put you down for the 500 MC. Alrighty. Next up we have GeeRam. GeeRam, what's your in-game name, Portfolio? Hey, how long do you think until we get a legendary Annihilator?
Ooh, I mean, it's a pretty like fan favorite mech. I mean, not as much as some things like the Timberwolf or the Alice or something, but
That's
it
true.
probably shouldn't be too long.
That's true, but also think about, like, you know, it has to be creative hardpoints that are already there. And if you, according to Krasdax, he said on the Ashcord that, you know, it's got to be from hardpoints that are already there. I'm trying to think of what combinations you could put on the Annihilator. Like, I guess the ballistic arms and then, like, the mean baby missile sights would be pretty deadly.
Yeah. I mean, overall, the Annie actually has an insane amount of hard points if you consider all the variants.
You could do 4 ballistic, 4 missile, 3 energy, because you have 2 energy in the CT and then 1 in a head.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's there's arms that have 3 energy. There's arms that have 2 ballistics. There's torsos that have 2 ballistics, and there's torsos that have 2 energy.
2 missile.
So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. Energy. The 1P exists as well.
So technically, I think it could have like 8 energy, 8 ballistic, if you want to. Like...
Oh my god, yeah. JBVO locked in light mechs. Yeah, because you have the Annie 1P. That's 4. The 1X is 2 in the CT, 1 in the head. That's 7. Then the 2 ballistic in the sides. 7 energy, 4 ballistics, and then whatever you put in the arms. And the maximum the arms can do is 2 ballistic and an energy. Or 2 energy and a ballistic. You can have, yeah.
Gotcha.
Duronian, we don't have confirmation on Piranha Games about whether or not the legendary mechs would be available for MC. Darren has hinted that that's probably what's going to happen. But we... Oh, I forgot to guess mechs. Damn it. It's okay. I would have never guessed GeeRam's mech anyway, so it's fine.
Eliminate all enemies, no matter the cost.
Samaru, we do not need a 400 engine cap Annihilator. It's definitely what we don't need in the world. You know, the Oxide's good, but I just love the so. GeeRam going for the legs. GBVO going for legs as well, but splashing the CP level. As far as raw DPS and health, the Jenner has a huge advantage. Oh, goodbye leg. So that just happened. Wow. The spread on those MRMs is a little bonkers.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's got pretty good quirks.
Is that something you bring in QP or just?
Oh no. I built a bunch of stuff that I thought would be fun to like use in the Masters Challenge. Some unique stuff. Like I said, you're gonna see some very interesting things. Hopefully you guys enjoy it.
Alrighty, thank you very much, JB. Let me get the next player. Mokor. I don't think I have you on my list. Yeah, Ghosty. GeeRam actually did turn on heat. Thermal against Annie's Annihilator.
Yeah, I think heat vision is like when you're up against Daka.
What do you say against these allegations of being a boomer? Wow.
What the hell does that mean?
Okay, GeeRam, do you use improved gyro nodes on
Yes,
your big
absolutely.
on your big traders? Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I'd say it's unplayable to like play against Daka if you Dock yourself or if you're like lasers.
That's
If
fair.
you don't have improved gyros, you need like high alpha stuff if you want to avoid taking that.
Yeah. Alrighty, medium X.
Mediums.
Where's my phone? What time is it? We are 30 minutes in, and we've gotten 5. Yeah, that's good. That's a good pace. It's a good pace.
We can speed it up, I think, a little bit.
Yeah. Mokar, we just said speed it up. Ready up. Okay, we're good.
I'm concerned about the 55 tons, as I know Mr. Moker here was bullying the beef a couple weeks ago of some rocket launcher dervish, I believe. I'm concerned for my life right now.
IS event queue. IS medium event queue. The 4 Rocket 20, 4 Sturm 6 Artemis Frenzy was my go-to. And it was great.
I think Moker running 8 rocket launcher 20s, and he would just go for the the one shot kill. Definitely scary. Gotta be careful about it.
I mean, I don't know. I never liked banking everything on rockets, though, just because you live or die so much on that one shot. And knowing my luck, if I bank everything on one shot, I'm not going to hit it.
That sounds like a skill issue, my friend.
Yeah, no, it's fair. It's fair.
Moker, he knows what's up. He knows how to use those rockets. Gotta be careful.
I actually don't know the quirks.
Oh, is it actually the rockets? Oh my god.
You better run into that minimum range, my friend. Mokar is waiting to get that shot. The amount of patience he's showing here, and now he's inside the minimum range again. If GeeRam manages to leg him before he can escape, actually GeeRam doesn't have a lot of ammo. Well, I guess he does have some. Mokar, you gotta find the shot. You gotta find the window. Oh, he fires! Oh, he fired them all.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think he was. It felt like to me that he was he was too close for half of his rockets because it didn't do that much damage. That really missed.
I didn't get the shot from his POV. I wish I did.
So one of the things people often forget is that the rangefinder isn't entirely accurate because it does matter where your mounts are, right? So if he's like if I'm to his left, then maybe his left side rockets were like too close, even though his right side were like far enough away.
Right, next is Casterian. Oh, two Casterian guards players back to back. Yeah. One thing I gotta give Mokar credit for though is the patience he had. I mean, so many players, like the moment they see the enemy, they'll just fire the rockets.
Yeah, no, he did a good job. He kept trying to space me and kind of bait me into running straight at him to keep the distance close. He knew he was faster than me, and so he thought that if he could catch me in the open and then back away, he'd be able to fire right at that like minimum range to tighten the spread as much as possible. Maybe waited a little bit too long though.
Alrighty, lights. Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't like just hard go for legs the moment you were inside his min range, so he couldn't run. But I guess he could still jump.
Yeah, I should have gone for legs earlier, honestly. Definitely.
Yeah, it's a really strange game because if you're outside of 200 meters, the rockets have incredibly bad spread. But then if he gets closer, you want to close inside of his minimum range. But then to close inside of his minimum range, oh boy, that's a scary thing. Ooh, okay. Okay.
This is command. Eliminate all enemies, no matter the cost.
Why do rockets have a minimum range? Because when Civil War first came out, you would have 6 Rocket 20 javelins plant their ass onto the back, or plant their face onto the ass of an assault mech, and like just obliterate it from point blank range. Rockets with 0 spread at point blank is incredibly broken. This is true. I do keep forgetting to guess. Backwards with that shot. Or actually, backsplash. Never mind. Arian's open CT. GeeRam has lost his shield arm. Surprised he's running the snubs on the 10K. It's not the most optimal, but I guess it's easy to boost. GeeRam starting to get heat capped. Casterion's just running in his face, keeping up the pressure. GeeRam's open both sides. Ooh, Casterion whiffs the kill shot, and GeeRam gets the killing burn.
Very close. Yeah, sorry if I forget to say GG and like good luck, have fun and stuff. I'm a little bit less focused than usual with the stream
I'm sure
going.
It's not required. Yeah, of course. If you want to mute me, so then in matches, so you don't hear my commentary. So
that's fine. I would say just make sure not to call out the opponent's mech. Until,
yeah. I make sure not to call anything about them until you interact with them.
Perfect. Yeah.
Alrighty. Thank you so much for playing, Casterion. Alright, who's up next? Zloy Strelok? Julio. Yep, thank you for already putting your in-game name in. Alrighty, there we go. I mean, the biggest factor of how quick these drops will go is just how quickly we can get the players to join.
Yeah.
So for those who put their in-game names in beforehand because they know they're up next, thank you so much. You're the best. Heavies. 65, 70. I mean, I see a 65 tonner. I'm always gonna guess, Crusadati.
Yeah, Crusader's obviously one of the strongest. I'd say the Crusader, the Catapult's also really strong.
Yeah. No, actually, I'd say Catapult beats the Crusader, as the IS Heavy event queue showed. But it's a lot harder to play. So.
Yeah, I think they straight up 1v1 now after the Crusader's gotten its armor nerfed, I would favor the Catapult. But I think against other things like a Black Widow, for example, the Crusader is probably a better bet just because it's so much faster. You can get up to 100 kph.
Yep.
To close in the distance.
Oh, speaking of Black Widow. Or at least, nope, I saw Warhammer. I just assumed Black Widow. Ooh. Interesting build.
This is command. Eliminate all enemies, no matter the cost.
GeeRam going up to take the ridge, trying to establish early lines. I think he may have gotten a blip on them. He did not. Now he did. Crusadati with Rax. That's a Krail with Rax plus change. Rax. Wow, okay. GeeRam's got to be very careful about getting too close to that. Nobody ever wants to brawl with the Krail. GeeRam going across the back ramp, trying to establish lines to find out where the Krail is. Oh! And as GeeRam was going for the UAV, Zoya almost gets the critical back shot there. It's halved, but he's LFE, so we're good. GeeRam now feeling confident enough to just, you know, poke out. GeeRam still poking over the ridge. GeeRam going for the other LFE shot? I believe he is. Ooh, GeeRam gets 2 of his medium pulses. Oh. Ooh, and there he goes.
I think you just need to push up the ramp and get on top of
Oh,
him.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's sort of the crux of the Krail, is that if you let your opponent poke, the Krail will never win.
Yeah.
The Krail needs to really get up there and press its DPS advantage. But, yeah. Very interesting build. 8 HMGs, a rack, 2 rack 2s, 2 ER smalls, and rockets. He did unfortunately miss the rockets, though. Alright, next we have Chicken Man.
I expect to see a lot of rockets and flamers overall throughout this.
Yeah, I mean, rockets are kind of slept on 1v1s.
Just so good value for their tonnage. Like if you can just slap them as extra on your mech, then potentially win you the game.
Yeah, flamers I'm a little more leery on, just because like the primary ability of flamers in a 1v1 is like getting your opponent to panic and make a mistake, and if your opponent is cool-headed enough, flamers don't do enough. But you know, the rockets for like 1.5 tons, a rocket 20, that's a huge ability. Chicken Man's choosing assaults.
Assaults, huh? Okay.
To show how professional I am, I forgot to make the announcement of the Masters Challenge being live on MWO Comp.
Well, never too late.
Yeah, give me a moment. Doing that right now. All right, we good. Alrighty, GeeRam. Ooh, he's not in an Annihilator. Lovely.
This is command. Eliminate all enemies, no matter the cost.
Firewolf Slayer, I've given up on the predictions just because I never succeed. Alrighty. GeeRam going up to the Pokeball, trying to establish lines. He gets eyes. Gonna be interesting. The Lumberjack. Oh, I guess that's the Hatchetman. GeeRam trying to close up, press the DPS. He's activating the time-honored strat of walking at the enemy. And he has unveiled his secret weapon, the LRMs. The thing I'm going to point out here is, though, that Chicken Man, with his amazing poke alpha, it's sort of the same interaction of the Warhammer against the Krail, is that GeeRam has to press his advantage, has to get into a range where he can, you know, use his DPS advantage for the dive. GeeRam's open CT. Chicken Man is... Ooh, GeeRam's overheating himself. Ooh!
Can anyone read?
Alrighty, the second winner of the day, Chicken Man.
The price you pay for the Lerms is the speed. Damn, I feel it.
Alrighty, Chicken Man, feel free to reach out to me at some point for your mech. Ghosty, I still need your backup mech if Darren says no to the Madcap Moonwalker. Alrighty, next up is Le Bowser. I don't need your in-game name. Heavies, okay. Now, for those of you who are unaware, last Masters Challenge, Bowser was the master and he lost to GeeRam. So now that GeeRam is the master, will he lose to Bowser? Is there a challenger's advantage here?
Should change my mind.
55 tonner against 65 tonner, perhaps? Bowser deploying the time-honored Div A strat of taking 3 years to select your mech.
Come on, Bowser. People need mechs.
We don't have all night, buddy. Come on. There we go. Alrighty, 65 tonner, 65 tonner. I'm predicting Crusader duel. GeeRam rocking the medium pulse small laser build.
Eliminate all enemies, no matter the cost.
GeeRam's not even going up to establish eyes, he's just running straight in. Still looking for the enemy. Oh, he spotted Bowser behind the Pokeball. Bowser fires his first shot. His second. Going for GeeRam's sides. Meanwhile, GeeRam is going for Bowser's legs. Bowser's open one leg. Bowser's legged. Ooh, he's going for CT now. GeeRam's open side. GeeRam loses his arm. He's trying to twist behind Bowser. Ooh, GG's.
Probably should have just gone for the other leg, but I felt like I couldn't get around.
It's fair.
Missed my burn on CT.
All right,
Oh, then
Bowser. Yep, Bowser. You know the drill. Let me know which mech you want. Ghosty wants the Direwolf S instead. Can do. I mean, not S, W, S. Chicken Man, I did not see which mech you want. Oh, whatever. Next up, we have Dubix. RGF. Dubix, you're not on my friends list. No, you're not. MPL Wolfhound is the request.
I have an MPL Wolfhound.
Are invasion mechs allowed? Yes, Zelk, they are. And then after Dubix, folks, we're going to start shuffle picking. Oh, I guess I don't have to predict. I know what mechs you're in. It's a mirror match.
Yeah, he did ask for MPL Wolfhound Mirror. Underused mech. Not super strong right now, but still fun.
A relic of a bygone competitive era, if you ask me.
This is command. Eliminate all enemies, no matter the cost.
GeeRam has spotted Dubix on the football. GeeRam's dropping to start the fight. Now, one thing I'm going to point out as a difference between these two is that the Wolfhound 1A gets a laser duration quirk that makes it much stronger in a duel. The Wolfhound 2 gets a heat quirk, so it has much more sustain. So you're gonna notice Dubix is a lot cooler than GeeRam. However, GeeRam with those burns, though, is putting down absolute hurt. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, there we go.
We're detecting no more hostiles.
Mech Warrior decided that I didn't deserve to spectate that match for a moment. Alright, GeeRam, you there?
Yes, I am there.
Okay, cool, yeah. Just want to make sure. Just want to make sure that it wasn't my internet. It was Mech Warrior for a moment, being like, nah.
We actually have our other caster here too. He joined in. I know you told me you couldn't hear it.
Hello, guys.
Hey,
Hello.
Master.
Yes.
Good to see you, man.
Sorry. Like I said, OBS is on. I cannot hear when people join. Our co-caster has arrived, Mr. Bowser.
Some fun matches so far.
Oh yeah. Alrighty. Let me get our first shuffle pick in here. How do I shuffle pick again? Give me a moment. There it
Just
is.
pick someone.
Got it. Next up is Crazy Indian Joe. I feel like I should have you on my friends list by now, seeing as you've been in many of the challenges. Is that your in-game name? Yeah, folks, if I pull your name and you're not on my friends list, just like, please put your name in chat. There we go. There's Crazy Indian Joe. Heavies, Mech Factory. GeeRam, are you alright with that?
Yep, I'm totally fine with that.
Coolio. Yep, like I said, if you want to request something more than the weight class, it's at the master's discretion. They're not obligated to accept it, whether it be map, mirror, anything like that. The one thing that I will veto over everything else is you cannot ask for Ishiyama caves. I will just say no.
65 versus 75. Interesting.
I mean, 65 tonner, I'm always going to guess Crusader. 75 though?
There's a lot of good 65 toners. You've seen Jaeger mech played already. You can
I've
see
seen
Catapult.
Yeah.
65 toners might be one of the best, actually. But no, we don't even see either of those.
Let's see, what's GeeRam? Oh, the Chironex? I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, the right from the hero. That's not a bad choice here because Mech Factory is a map where you can pull a lot of range and you have very long sight lines from one end to the other.
Ross PPC.
Very, very aggressive build from our master here. I like it. And from Crazy Indian Joe, I like his Orion too. Very simple.
Oh no, you said his mech before GeeRam saw it. No! Oh well.
Luckily, there's not a lot I can do in this scenario. But yeah, I was telling Teos, try not to tell me the mech until I see it because
yeah.
Fucked up. I'm
no,
sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
So used to casting league matches.
I know, right? Alrighty, GeeRam setting up top. Yep, he's on the Quintessential Mech Factory range spot. Yeah. For those of you who didn't play Solaris, if you had a mid-range mech on Mech Factory, the name of the game was how much damage can you do to them before they get into brawl range. And how much you do there will determine whether or not you win or lose the match.
I like both of our competitors' builds here. I like the way Crazy Indian Joe's positioning. I think he knows what's up. kind of hard not to at this point.
Yeah, I think he very much suspects what GeeRam is doing, but I think GeeRam may have gotten a blip. I think he has an idea of where Crazy Indian Joe might be.
The Rifleman putting that target sensor range quirk to use, actually, on this map.
Oh, the first shot is fired?
Okay.
But yeah, like I said, folks, this is a game of how much damage can GeeRam do before the Orion gets in range.
Absolutely. The good news is he's pushed it without taking much damage so far, and there's not too much more he can take. That's another hit, but G didn't get the Gauss up. He only got the PPC, so he only took 3% on the Orion, so he's still doing good in terms of health, and he's managed to close a lot. He's in a good spot now. He does need to twist a bit, though.
Yeah, he's just, yeah, he
does. He has to twist, though.
That's not good.
He has to twist. He can't win if he doesn't twist. Like, his objective is just close as fast as possible and just twist all the damage off that you can.
However, ooh, gets the cheeky leg shot through there. GeeRam's got to jump in order to prevent his leg from getting clipped out.
Legging is dangerous, though, because he might not be able to easily smash into the other leg.
Yeah. I don't know, though. If GeeRam drops here... Ooh! Orion's low mounts, though. Crazy Indian Joe wasn't able to get a shot in return. Crazy Indian Joe's open CT.
Ooh.
GeeRam's almost open, too. Ooh, GeeRam takes a lot of...
A good match. Very well played. I think if he had twisted some of those initial shots as he was closing, I think it would have been his game to win.
Yeah. No, that's definitely true. Alrighty. Thank you, Crazy Indian Joe. I'm going to put you down for the 500 MC. And next player we have is Zelk.
And these 1v1s, you just have to be very proactive about twisting and shielding. That's a mistake I've seen a lot of people make even today.
Well, 1v1s are such a different game because, like, in QP, you know, if you have or in QP or comp, if you make a mistake, your teammates can sometimes cover for it. But, you know, 1v1s, the first one who makes a mistake is probably the one who's going to lose. So even something as minor as taking too much damage on approach, that is definitely grounds for not getting the match there. Alrighty, Crazy Ninja's down for the put down for the 500 MC. Zelk from Oops. Wonder which weight class he's gonna pick.
I'll assume that is heavies.
Heavies are good, though. You can do literally anything with heavies. You can snipe, you can brawl, you can trade, you can mid-range, you can do literally anything. They're fast, they're slow, they're in between, they're tanky, they're squishy. Like, literally, they just cover every archetype in the game.
Yep. Okay, 75 against 60. 60 tonners. Oh boy. I'm gonna have to pull up the list of mechs by tonnage. I'm thinking Dragon or Quick Draw. Those are the two I'm betting for GeeRam. Maybe Hellfire or Mad Dog, but... This is the Grand Dragon, right?
It is.
That's right. Oh, okay. I am very curious to see this matchup.
A strong pick from our master and a strong pick from our contestant. I like both picks.
Yeah. Zelk's mech was actually a beast in early meta Stellaris. Very powerful pick.
I would argue it still is. It was recently brought in another master challenge and it won the match it was brought in, so it's still a strong pick.
Zelk setting up on
there it is.
GeeRam running in.
This is a little bit questionable, though, because he could have used his high mounts possibly to abuse the PPC to make him push. But he's getting good damage on his leg, though, and he didn't take too much in return. It's a Dragon, so he's very tanky. His left leg's already open. I guess the Nitro Strip leg armor, because the Dragon doesn't have very much health right now. He's leg, and he's on the other side of his leg. He's going to get him for sure. He's just swag striking him at this point. I think the Nitro Strip leg armor.
Yeah,
100%. I mean, the Dragon doesn't have much firepower.
I mean, in order to fit 7 UAC 2s, the Nightgear has to strip a lot of armor, especially since he had 4 tons of ammo there. So that's a lot of armor you have to strip. However, if I'm going to strip Nightgear armor in a 1v1, I think I strip arms before anything else. So I'm very.
I would honestly agree. Like if you're taking that Nitro, you generally you have to be ready to receive a brawl push, and for that you have to have leg armor to tank it, so you can do enough damage to kill him before he kills you.
All right, Railcon MWO. If you can let me know what your in-game name is. Bird Apocalypse. Type Q join !Q space join to put yourself in chat. Alrighty. Alrighty. Thank you very much. Alrighty, Zelk, I put you down for the 500 MC.
I like the Dragon Bigmar Master, though, that last match. It's very creative because I think a lot of people might think, oh, maybe 4 Snub Dragon or maybe like a Daka Dragon, but he brought a full Rushing Dragon.
Yeah.
Everything in the torso is full speed.
Yeah. One thing I'm also going to point out, though, is GeeRam's build allowed him to Alpha Strike and Twist instead of Stagger Fire. And I feel like that's a very big part of it.
Absolutely.
Alrighty. Well, I guess I don't have to predict mechs here.
Always happy to honor these 1v1 duels as long as I have the mech and the build.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's a lot easier if you ask for a mirror chassis instead of a specific build.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let's see what each player is bringing though on their Crusaders. Oh. GeeRam running the same mech that he brought against Bowser's Crusader, but a bit of an unorthodox pick from Railkin. I actually brought this in the Masters Challenge against Carbon Fire, but I actually adore this mech I adore this build that Railkin's in.
It's very interesting build and mech choice. I like it a lot, but I don't know if it can compete with just a normal 6T or even a Krail for that matter. I think it's the spirit's there, but I'm not sure if it is the DPS or the alpha to compete with those mechs properly.
Yeah. That being said, though, if Railkin can get a sustained brawl, the 6T heats up very quickly. However, GeeRam just got a free burn onto Railkin's leg. He gets another free burn.
He has the high ground,
leg,
which is really dangerous because he has everything in the arm, so it's very easy to shoot down from the high ground, and it's very easy to shield to the parts of your mech, especially if the opponent has to shoot up, and you're standing on the high ground. Very dangerous right now for Railkin.
Well, one thing I'm going to say, though, is that GeeRam started by going for legs. It's a lot easier to shield your legs when you are on the open. Unless you walk out in the open like that, then no, you can't. Railkin's almost leg. GeeRam is soft one leg.
Yes, GeeRam managed to sustain brawl somehow. Oh.
Railkin needs to get
I think he dropped.
he
dropped. Oh. Oh, but his ammo exploding. He had ammo. Oh, he had ammo in his leg. The ammo exploded off his torso. Ah, very unfortunate.
Also, one thing that definitely see there that we touched on this before you came, Bowser. If one of your legs is open and you don't feed them that leg, Railkin got legged, and then his last leg was one touch. So at that point, I feel like when your leg is one touch, you just sort of have to feed them that leg and start shielding the other. Alrighty. Next up, we have Rayatamari. What is your in-game name, por favor? Rayatamari, please, I need your in-game name. I don't want to have to put you back in queue. Alrighty, Rayatamari's not here. Next up, Absolent. Absolent, are you there, or are you absent? As your because your name sounds like that word. Oh, Rayatamari's here. All right. I'll get Absolute in after this then. Alrighty, Absolute, you have until the end of Raya Tamari's match in order to give me your in-game name, or else I'm gonna have to skip over you. Alright. It's Smiteless. Smiteless, give me your in-game name. Oh, let me put it back to Steiner. Steiner! Yeah, the Direwolf was one of the Steam variants, which means that it either had the Franken skin or the Hot Rod skin, but it is a special variant, so it has a C-Bill boost. So, no unique camo, but it's got a C-Bill boost. Alrighty, Mighty Elias adds for mediums. He's still picking his mech. By the way, guys, yeah, don't at MWO Leagues. That's not me. At Tios instead. That's my name. Ooh, 40 tons.
Interesting. 50 versus 40.
Viper. I mean, the best 40 tonner you can bring is the Viper. 50 tonner, Huntsman.
I wouldn't say that's a set rule at all. I disagree. I think there's a lot of picks you can have. You can pick a Vulcan, you can pick a Viper, you can pick different build archetypes of the Vulcan too. There's others I didn't mention as well.
Yeah. Actually, GeeRam, before I click on his mech, I'm gonna guess a Nova. Damn it!
This is command. Eliminate all enemies, no matter the cost.
I really like our Masters build. This is a build I'm quite fond of myself, and he just added to it.
Alright, I need to go use the restroom real quick, so I'm just gonna stay in GeeRam's cockpit, and I'm gonna let Bowser do the commentating.
Alright, so we see the Viper trying to close. He will get the closure, but he's taking a lot of damage in the process. 92. Kind of spread damage so far, but he needs to close. He's kind of taking a runabout route in the open here. He's down to 80% already. He's not face hugging. If you're facing a mech like a Hunchback or something like that in a Viper, you got to try and face hug. You want him to miss his shots into the ground, and he, unfortunately, just face staring, and he's going to lose the face stare fight because he just lost all that armor trying to close. He's halved, and I mean that's going to be it, unfortunately. There's not really a whole lot to talk about here. He's about to die. I don't know if he's even close to getting the hunch off. He's not. The hunch wasn't even open, and that's game. If you're closing, you really have to try and use the terrain. You have to try and twist the damage as much as possible. And you want to face hug, so that way it makes it as hard as possible for him to shoot back, since you're the smaller mech. And his weapons require aiming, yours don't. I think it would have been a lot closer if we'd seen those things from our competitor here. And we'll play to our master.
Alrighty, I'm back. What'd I miss?
The Hunchback won.
I see. One moment, Midalus. Let me get your name down for Midalus Edulus. Alright. And then, next up, we have Pete Ray PT. I want to say that's Pete from Clan Crossfire, right? Yeah. Pete Zone. Do I have you on my friends list? I do not. Heavy.
Heavy is very classic. Both in 75 tonners. Could be a Night Gyre duel match. We have seen Night Gyres today already, and they're very popular and very strong pick for that matter.
In the match where Ghosty beat GeeRam, it was actually Lasvom Timberwolf against Lasvom Timberwolf. That was a very interesting 75 tonner duel. Ooh, Black Knight.
Very interesting pick.
6B.
Master.
That's the vomit.
I like
variant,
it.
Right? That's the heat quirk vomit one?
Yes, it should be. If we see a Nitger, the Black Knight might do okay because the Nitger or the Black Knight can drill the Nitger CT pretty easily, or drill his torso with laser vomit with those low duration, low heat lasers. And he's a lot of armor to tank fire. I do worry about the CT though, and I worry about the speed. I don't know if he'll be able to close fast enough. If there was a Nitger, we don't know yet.
I think the Black Knight wins against a Daka heavy if it can get in range. I don't think it beats a Brawl heavy. Oh, we
do see the Nitger. He did bring that Nitger. But he's close. He's closed pretty good though. He's in optimum range of his weapons. However, the Nitger is just so much damage. Like he's already lost 10%, just a brief amount of exposure.
Yep.
But he is getting good burns. He's putting excellent burns into his CT. His CT's open, and his left torso's, or his left torso. I'm sorry. He's getting amazing burns into this Nitger.
One more shot is gonna do it. GeeRam's dropping down to go around. He's trying to play it as safe as he can.
And I mean that's gonna be it. Unfortunately, the Nitro's one-shot CT. That's it. The IS lasers with their super low pinpoint duration. It's not gonna work out. The Nitro's too big of a CT. The Black Knight, it just pinpoints those lasers, just beams you. And
it's interesting because
the UX2 build, like you have to stare with it as well. So you're basically playing into the Black Knight's hand by not being able to twist.
It's interesting because the Black Knight probably loses to a Brawl mech. Meanwhile, the Night Gear probably beats a Brawl mech. And then, as we just showed, the Black Knight beats the Night Gear. So it's a very interesting rock, paper, scissors we have going on here of our mech picks. All right, next up we have Bacon Lord, or at least I assume that's Bacon Lord. It looks like Bacon Lord. It sounds like Bacon Lord. Are you Bacon Lord? I'm just going to assume you are Bacon Lord. And he's currently offline. Bacon Lord, don't do this to me. Alright, Bacon Lord, if you come back, let me know. I'm gonna get the next pick in. Red Hawk Strike, if you let me know your in-game name, please. The 6 is the one with the duration quirk, yes. However, the 6B is just the heat, so GeeRam just wanted as much DPS as he can. And I mean, I don't think you need the duration quirk with IS large pulse and ER meds. Like, don't get me wrong, it's good to have, but like its duration is already so low.
I don't know. I don't hugely agree with that. I think if you predict that you're gonna get broad push, you need the heat for sure. But if you predict you're gonna fight something like a Nitro, or a Rifleman, or a Jägermeister, or anything at range, you actually really want the duration. I think, for sure, because even a split second is just the difference between twisting, getting drilled. You know what I mean? Like it's even those split seconds matter, especially when you're fighting a mech like a Nitro or a Clan Lisbon mech who has to stare. Just every little bit of advantage you can get is just tremendous.
Oh, wait a minute. Y'all can't at me in chat because I haven't typed. There we go. Now you should be able to at me in chat. Would you be able to request a server change?
I don't mind. Sim map, it's for me, I don't care.
Okay.
This
Hey,
man wants
sorry.
Boreal, so...
Borealis. He specifically said Borealis. Alright, folks, we're going to Boreal Vault. Let's get to it. It's going to take 20 minutes to walk towards the enemy.
Boreal's a small map. Boreal was smaller than Steiner. You'd be surprised.
Well, no, I said Boreal Reach. I mean Boreal Vault, the FP map.
Oh.
Grazdax, if you're there. It's been a common theme to turn FP maps into quick play maps. Do not do Boreal Vault. Please do not make Boreal Vault into a quick play map. Unless, actually, if you cut off the outside and it's just the parts inside of the base, then the map has like a 1,000 meter diameter. That's cool. But, like, not as it is. The Rifleman 2CA. That's, DACA? No.
That is ballistic and lasers.
Ah.
However, he's elected to do something a bit different on it. I would say it's a good pick.
This is command. Eliminate
It is a pretty good pick because he's pretty high mounted PPCs on that mech. I am worried about some of the range his enemy could bring, though. I mean, there are spots you can stand where you can get zoned out a lot from the map here.
I mean, if you bring range on Boreal and your mech can jump, I literally just turn around and jump to the hill up on the spawn.
And there it is. It's a Nitro. It looks like it's ballistics coming at GeeRam, but he has those high mount PPCs, so he's not completely doomed here. The Nitro actually has to be careful.
The Nitro is pop-tarting, though. He's not posting up. Okay, now he is. Okay.
I would argue the Rifleman can still have an advantage here. The Nitro has, I mean, he doesn't want to push it because he pushes in the LB20s. I don't know if our contestant realizes that our Master's Rifleman has 2 LB20s as well as the PPCs. He might not realize. It looks like he's trying to push.
Well, it's a bit of a tricky thing because you can't just let him pop. You can't just let him hill hump you. Because that'll win against Doc. But if you close against the like the LBs, then GeeRam just wins. I mean, look at that. He's having negative heat.
And the UX, the RNG on the UX is just not going very well for him. Just getting a lot of jams.
Ooh,
And
GeeRam baits him with the PPC shot.
single shot and then the double LB20. A very scary matchup looking at first, but actually those high mount PPCs really coming in clutch for that Rifleman. He got a lot of early damage, and he forced his opponent to close, or his opponent psychologically thought, okay, he's got PPCs, he's got long range.
Yeah.
But he in fact was not long range.
Well, it is a very powerful archetype to run 2 peeps and then brawl weapons. Typically, you see it with like micro pulse on like quicker mix, but show it to be strong enough here. All right, I think Gamerfell will get you down for the MC. Next is Salty Mech Dad. Kieran, there are no weapon restrictions, there are no mech restrictions. Anything that is allowed in-game is allowed in the Masters Challenge. Bacon Lord, is that you? Meds and Liao jungle. GeeRam, are you fine with Liao? Hello? Is anyone there?
Here's our master taking a short break.
Oh no! GeeRam, no!
Sorry, my bad. Yeah, no, I'm fine with jungle.
Julio.
I don't recognize his name here. Not quite sure what I should bring.
Bring the single strongest mech possible.
Get to it.
It's 55 versus 55.
I want to see a Vapor Eagle Eye.
I kind of expect to see Stormcrow. I will be honest. I might be wrong, though. A Stormcrow or a Dervish. I might be wrong, though.
GeeRam bring in the Dervish.
Ah, interesting.
This is command. Eliminate all enemies, no matter the cost.
This actually should be a very interesting match, looking at our opponent's mech choice here.
GeeRam's running the Speed Eagle Eye. One thing I'm going to point out for those of you who don't know, Dervish does have the 6M does have a spread quirk, which makes SRM very, very potent.
GeeRam gets the leg very fast. Our contestant really needed to get this leg with that last shot, but GeeRam has his leg and it's going to end right there.
Wow.
I see GeeRam took a big left torso hit. I think if our contestant put that into his leg instead, he would have had a much better chance.
Yep.
I think fights like that really just comes down to legging, especially the mechs that have high mobility and speed like a Dervish.
Not to mention, shots on the Dervish's sides and CT, it rolls incredibly well. So, the most vulnerable spot of the Dervish is its legs. But next player is that JT Street. If you could let me know what your in-game name is. Bowser, Chicken Man wants me to ask you about the LB40 Stormcrow.
I definitely agree that, well, I guess not really agree, but the Dervish is very tanky on his torsos, right? It has missile bay doors for damage resistance. It has large shield arms. The legs are kind of the weak point on that mech. You can't really twist damage off legs, if that makes sense. And it's a 55-tonner, so the legs are kind of large. So I think if people are keeping a keen eye and they see, oh, okay, maybe our opponent's taking a Dervish here, maybe our master taking Dervish, should try going for his legs, I think, on the outset. Because it's a very tanky mech. You have a lot of armor bonuses, a lot of damage reduction, and a very well-rounded hitbox to spread damage.
Yep. All right, Bacon Lord's back, so we're going to get him in first. Mirror match, okay. You gonna say what the mirror match is? Javelin? Okay. JT Street, I'll get you in after this.
Yeah, he did send me the build. It's 7 medium lasers, I think. That are ER mediums.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. That'll be a fun fight, actually. We saw a mirror match, or almost mirror match, medium pulse Wolfhound fight earlier. An absolute perfect mirror match Javelin fight. It'll be really interesting, especially with ranged lasers.
Oh, I guess I can't predict anybody's mix. Damn. Did he actually send you the build code, if I may ask?
Yeah, he did send me the build code.
Okay, so it's like true mirrors, alright.
Unless he juked me. He's gonna run me down with HMGs now.
Yeah.
Make it not like this.
Our master did forget something on his mech. I hope that doesn't bite him in the ass later on. He did forget cool shots.
Sure, he'll be fine.
He's gonna have to play around the fact that he doesn't have a cool shot.
GeeRam showing off his advanced zoom. What I'm going to point out here is that between these two pillars, 520 meters. They're doing about 12% max damage.
Much more than that.
Right? No, because its optimal is 310.
So the halfway damage point is halfway between that
450.
and...
Yeah, so halfway damage point is 450.
Right, so he's...
So probably a quarter?
No, more like 30, 35%.
That's fair. That's fair. Surprised that nobody wants to close. Well, I guess I guess closing would be in Bacon Lord's favor, just because he has the cool shot. He can get that extra sustain if he needs it. But
it's just like it's kind of like a mid-range trade battle here. It's kind of fun to watch.
Yeah.
Very even, but of course every trade, you know, they're at 470 meters right now. So again,
Yeah.
30, 35, 40-ish%. It's varying a little bit of them full alpha. So you're not taking a whole lot of damage here, and it's on javelins. So you're inherently spreading some of the damage, as we see. They're pretty much taking damage to all the torsos at once. It's a very interesting fight, but it will take a while for sure.
The health differential between the two is actually almost perfectly even right now. 83 to 84%.
I would say GeeRam is winning the trades just a little bit more. It's a little hard. His CT is like a slightly darker shade of brown.
However, this close though.
Yeah, I think Bacon Lord CT is definitely a little bit of a darker shade of brownish orangish right now than GeeRam's. So he is definitely winning the trades. GeeRam also has some damage pumped into his arm, unfortunately. Starting to side more and more in GeeRam's favor at this point. Yeah, I would say Bacon Lord, he probably has to realize at some point that he is losing the trades. He has to make that executive decision and should maybe push, to be honest, because just keep doing what he's doing. He's going to eventually lose to GeeRam here.
Yeah.
Like, his CTs are already open, and GeeRam's not actually even that close to being opened, actually. Especially with the ranges and the damage they're playing at.
GeeRam is one of the first men I've seen who doesn't lock his arms when firing a mech like this. I don't know about y'all, but I always lock my arms if I'm ever taking a shot.
Nope, I don't either.
Really?
I think it's a very bad idea because it stiffens your mouse sensitivity and makes it more floaty.
Really?
It's a very bad idea, absolutely.
Even with a build like this, where
so
convergence.
So real quick, Bacon Lord did get GeeRam's arm, and he opened his torso, which is good, very good. GeeRam's down a lot of damage, and he's potentially a 1 or 2 shot from Bacon Lord at this point. Bacon Lord brought it back. He kind of clawed that one back, actually.
Yeah, actually, taking out the arm here was huge, just because GeeRam's down to 4.
However,
meds.
he is still orange CT, but of course, GeeRam's kind of getting orange on his right torso as well. Now he's pretty much red.
Oh,
those missing lasers are really hampering GeeRam right now. Maybe he was part of Bacon Lord's master plan to get that laser arm off. Maybe he knows something we don't. Excuse me.
GeeRam gets a huge burn.
Oh, and then he overheats. Did he use his cool shot? On my end, he did. Okay, he did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I am surprised you wouldn't bring 2 cool shots though. That's very surprising. They're pretty much free, able to be mounted on your mech.
That was really scary for me because I realized I was gonna lose my arm and I needed to push because I wouldn't be able to trade with him anymore. 7 versus 4 medium lasers, but not having the cool shots meant pushing was like really scary.
Yeah.
Calling that early, it was dangerous. It was a really close game. We'll play Bacon.
It was honestly a very close game. I think if he has an extra cool shot to save there at the end, I think our master loses that match. I would be willing to bet anyway.
Alrighty, sorry about that. Yep, Bacon Lord, thank you so much for playing. Thank you so much for giving us a phenomenal match. I'll put you down. Before this, it was JT. Yes, X now. Let me grab you.
It is kind of ironic, though, just a little funny note that the person without the cool shot won via the person with the cool shot overheating.
Yeah,
I would have expected the other way around, to be honest.
XNL has said in Twitch chat they want assault mechs. Just so you know, G. Well, 90 tons. Well, the Moonwalker isn't out yet, so can't say that. $90 tons. Mauler? I actually think it's a Mauler. I think that's what I'm going to predict. Damn it.
I think 90 ton is one of those two where it's hard to predict.